I thought I'd share something with you guys that came into the shop the other day, and that is the Girsan MC P35 High Power. This is a standard high power clone. However, it's not just any clone. It's actually a really high quality, well-made clone. So I thought we'd take a look at it. This one is a copy of the last iteration of Belgian-made high powers, meaning that it has the firing pin block. Not only that, I'll show you guys that we are empty. It's got ambi safeties and then nice 3-dot sights, which are dovetailed in place, so you could remove them if you wanted to. This one is the Flat Dark Earth Cerakote. However, they've got it in more of a traditional look with a black Cerakote, wood grips. They've got several different iterations of the base model high power like this. And we'll go ahead and pull this thing apart and just take a look at it and see how it compares to a Belgian-made one, which I own. We're going to remove our magazine, and of course it does not drop free because of the magazine disconnect. They ship with one 15-round Metgar magazine. They come in a hard case with a brush, manual, and lock. Pretty standard stuff there. Disassembles just like any high power would. And you can see all the lubrication on it, which is kind of nice that they did that, because a lot of manufacturers just ship their guns out dry. And so if this is indicative of the quality or care that they put into making them, you know, it's a pretty good start. At least it shows that they care about the gun. And that dreaded magazine disconnect down in there. Pull this guy apart. Pretty standard stuff as far as that goes. I do believe these are 100% part interchangeable. You may want to fact check that before you invest in one, but everything that I'm seeing here looks like it'll interchange with the one that I have at home. About my only gripe with this gun is I wish that the barrel would have been Cerakoted black to match the rest of the pistol, but it's a pretty minor gripe, especially at the price point. Speaking of price, kind of top end of what these run in the base model is about $5.50, and you can pick them up cheaper too. It just kind of depends where you get it from, but a really good value for the money. There's your firing pin block, and I actually like this, especially if I was going to carry it. High powers are kind of notorious for not being safe to carry cocked and locked. That's actually where the Israeli carry method came from, where they would draw and then chamber around before they shoot. Was because they were carrying high powers and they didn't feel that they were safe to carry cocked and locked. Now, people can argue that, but that is why the Israelis do it that way. However, with the current models that are coming in from Girsan, they have this firing pin block. So that would make me feel better about carrying one cocked and locked if you wanted to. And they do make an excellent carry gun due to the size. They are a little heavy, but, I mean, 15 plus 1 rounds of 9. And if you put slim G10 grips on this, they're actually thinner than a 1911 with standard grips. Throw it back together. And just buttery smooth as far as the action goes. And let's see how the trigger is. So again, we are clear. Got some take up and some grit. Of course, that will clear up as it's used. There's the wall. Trigger's pretty heavy. I would say that as it comes out of the box, it's probably a 9-pound trigger. And here's the reset. There it is. Not very tactile, not very audible, but most high powers are that way. And there's that break again. Yeah, I would say probably about 9 pounds with the magazine disconnect. But most people remove the disconnect, which then allows your magazine to drop free and significantly improves the trigger. It's very easy to do, and it's a no-brainer on these. These do come with a limited lifetime warranty, and for the money, there are far worse guns to invest in. These are excellent. Again, this is the base model. They do make different colors of them, and then they make a modernized version with a rail, a beaver tail, and optics cut, which is really cool to see somebody modernizing the high power. And then in addition to that, they make a carry version with or without rail, with or without optics cut, beaver tail, that type of stuff. So if you are wanting a high power, I would strongly point you in this direction. A lot cheaper than even surplus beat-up high powers that are Belgian-made, much cheaper than old commercial high powers, and just for a shooter or something to carry, excellent. I don't think you can go wrong with these, especially with all the aftermarket stuff that's out there for high powers. So if you don't have one, I strongly encourage you to pick one of these up. And most importantly, guys, and as always, stay free.